My name is Jack, and I'm a passionate angler and all-round fish fanatic. In this series of films, I'm trying to track down and catch 100 different species of fish in the British Isles as I fly, see and course fish for a range of weird species. This week I'm looking for the crucian in some remote Norfolk ponds. How are we all doing? Well, today I'm looking for crucians, but I haven't got the fishing tackle with me. Instead, I'm surveying them on some Norfolk farm ponds. If you can see behind me, there's a load of experts on crucians, and we're going to be putting out fyke nets to see if we can catch crucians, as well as learning a little bit about them. Let's get into it. I've been meaning to do this for a few years now, as every April, Carl Sayer conducts several surveys all over Norfolk to look for historic populations and monitor existing ones by collecting data like length, population size and overall health. We were looking at 3 ponds today, all on private farmland. This is important as it means the chances of carp and goldfish mixing with them are pretty low, which is a major issue for them hybridising with the crucians and breeding them out. The first pond was fairly small, and you'd easily walk past it and not even think there was fish in it. But as the team pulled up the nets, we got a few crucians out and was able to have a good look at them. They're absolutely beautiful fish with stunning gold scales. One thing I'll mention here, as I know some arsehole in the comments will bring it up, is the shape of the fish. Crucians are hugely variable in shape, and not just the sort of classic round shape people like to romanticise about. Just because it's not round doesn't mean it's not a crucian. These fish are the only fish in here and have lived in this pond for decades, so despite having a more slender look to what people might be used to, they are definitely crucians. The next location wasn't too far away, and Carl and the team were treating this as a bit of a wild card. They'd never surveyed here before and had no idea what might be lurking in it.
Yeah, I don't feel confident.
I don't feel confident here.
But I'd love to be proven
I
wrong.
would.
Let's
This
prove
is
you wrong,
exciting.
yeah, let's get
Love
some
to be
out.
proven wrong.
I don't think there's
So
anything in
part
there.
of what we do is search for them,
Yeah,
and we
Well, I guess,
go, we
you
go
know-
on our connections and contacting farmers,
And then we just drown them if they're wrong.
and yeah, yeah,
well it's
yeah.
just as valuable for you to know where they're not, isn't it, really? Because you don't want to, you're not going to conserve it as much.
But years ago, they would have been in almost every other pond. You know,
Yeah.
around here,
Well,
there
they
was
were.
a guy telling us yesterday,
Yeah.
like, you know, oh, they used to be here, they used to be here, they used to be here,
Really?
and so the, you know, the decline is massive.
It's real.
Really.
They offered me a go on the boat and I could hardly refuse the chance to have a paddle, so I pushed out and headed towards the traps that were set the night before.
Oh, no. This way, yeah.
That's the one.
Oh, I can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't have floats that are obvious.
Okay. It's like a pike float, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a cork
Oh.
out of the bottle, so it looks like it's waste
Yeah.
just been chucked in.
Yeah.
So you don't advertise you got your nets.
Well, no, you don't want to, do you?
No.
So we'll put some water in the
Okay.
knees in a sec.
It must be quite exciting because you could get anything, couldn't
This is
you?
exciting for me. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
particularly. But I don't think there's any in here. Pessimistic. I
Come
don't.
on. Okay, got a job to do.
I'll pick it up down side.
It's alright.
That's all right.
If you need me to do anything, just tell me and I'll...
You can separate those 2 buckets.
Yeah, no problem.
Put them in the golden bucket for Carl.
Okay.
He likes a really nice yellow bucket. So you can fold it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, this famous bucket on Twitter, this is. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Crucian.
crucian!
Oh yes!
Oh, wow!
Oh, that's amazing! That's
loads of them.
That's an ancient fish. Oh,
Oh, there's loads.
you're not going to believe this! You will not believe this, Carl. Oh my goodness me!
Jesus.
Thanks for putting us on to this one, mate.
Oh.
They're original fish.
Wow.
Dan, you give Dan. Take them out, mate.
You want me to
How
help?
do we want to do this?
Yeah, let me help you.
I should point out that the fish stuck in the net are fine, with crucians being very hardy fish that can live in no oxygen environments no problem. It's just a case of working them out slowly. The main issues the crucians have are hybridisation, as we mentioned, particularly with goldfish and guyball carp, which can be tricky to positively ID and they pollute the gene pool. Not only that, but we have less ponds now than we used to, so habitat for these fish is shrinking rapidly. Generally, crucians are a fish that prefer to be in ponds without other fish, and they really struggle from being outcompeted, so these smaller ponds are perfect for them.
Carl, we're very civilised today, aren't we?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good health to you.
Can you just say who you are and what we're doing today?
I'm Professor Carl Sayer from University College London, the Pond Restoration Research Group, and we are saving the crucian carp one pond at a time.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So people might see the nets behind us
Yeah.
and the people hard at work. So what does that involve? And that's very,
Yeah.
very long and complicated answer.
No, it isn't. It is. I can answer that. Well, what we're doing is trying to rescue the crucian carp from a very steep decline that it's in. It's declining all through Europe. It's declining in England, and we registered about a 75% decline. So what we're doing is we're searching for it, and so we set nets in likely places. We use local information. We've got our West Norfolk correspondent over there who led us to this pond over here. Often old people who used to fish in the past when they were little children, you know, running around villages. So we go to those sort of places where there's a history of crucian carp and we search for them. Other things we do is if there's a pond that was, you know, had crucian carp in the past and we've found that it didn't and we can restore it, we'll go and restore it through the Norfolk Ponds project, wait a few years for it to recover and become all full of plants and stuff, and then we'll reintroduce the crucian carp to that. So we do reintroductions, we check on our reintroductions, and yeah, we just always trying to increase the number of ponds with crucian carp because they're down to a very, very low level at the moment.
Because a lot of people might say, why save the crucian? What's so special about the crucian? So what is your, obviously you don't need convincing.
Yeah, I don't need convincing.
What's your rebuttal? Like, why is this fish worth saving?
Well, it's rare all the way across Europe.
Yeah.
And so we in England actually have relatively quite a lot of crucian carp populations.
Yeah.
So even though it's declining here, it's a real stronghold for them.
Yeah.
And the other thing to say is it's just I think it's a really special, iconic fish, and it's got a real cultural importance. Like local people here, they see it for the first time in, say they come out with us and they see us net and they see the old pond they used to fish as a child, and they see the crucian carp come out of it. It's powerful. You can see they relive their childhood and they remember this fish and they just love it. So there's so many people out in the countryside, you know, learnt to love nature through this fish. I'm one of those.
I find it hilarious though, because obviously this thing with goldfish, but crucians are actually gold. They're not like carrot, dirty orange. These things are a bar of gold. Well, as we have conveniently got
There's one.
here, we've got one in front of us.
Yeah.
And they are beautiful fish, aren't they?
They really are.
I mean, preaching to the converted a little bit. The classic thing, and you put a thing online the other day about this, is people say you can't have fish and wildlife, but crucians book the trend for that, don't they?
Yeah, quite a lot of species do. I think crucian carp, tench, nine-spine stickleback, rudd are what I would call your classic pond fish.
Yeah.
They exist in ponds. You could go to a really beautiful pond and think, oh, that pond's beautiful, there's no fish in there.
Yeah.
But it will actually often contain those species without anyone knowing, you know. They coexist really well with other wildlife. So they don't disrupt macrophytes. You have lots of plants, plant-filled ponds. You know, invertebrates are abundant, as you saw from all the caddisflies that are coming up, you know. And also the other thing is that they coexist well with amphibians. If anything, and a lot of people don't really believe this, but it's true from lots of sampling. If anything, the ponds that we have fish in are actually our best amphibian ponds. Really? And that includes the Great Crested Newt. So we find it abundantly with crucians. So they're a fish that is a classic fish of the pond, really.
Yeah.
And they belong in ponds, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just cool. I mean, I've got them in my own garden pond, and
Yeah.
newts and stuff.
Yeah.
They all get on.
Yeah.
They all get on great. And
Yeah.
today, this pond behind us was a bit of a surprise. So we were driving up the lane. You're saying like, "Oh, I don't think we'll find much in
Yeah.
here. We've never been in this pond before."
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. So we came to this pond, you know, there's a history of crucian carp here, but it just didn't look that promising.
Yeah.
So, but you know, we knew they were here at some point. We thought we were going to get a blank here today. We were ready to just pull the nets and go somewhere else. And then I think we've had one of the biggest catches we've ever had. So you must have brought us some good luck.
I mean, I can't help it. I just thought, well, look, mate.
Well, yeah.
It's been incredible to see it all. I've been meaning to come out with you for years. So just
pleasure.
thanks for having me.
Come again, whenever you like.
The last pond we visited was a bit bigger and had more reeds in it, along with a few more species, including rudd and tench, which were nice to see. If you do live in Norfolk and maybe know of a pond that has crucians in it, particularly a farm pond, then do get in touch with the Norfolk Pond Project, as they'd love to know. For those of you that feel cheated on me for not fishing in this episode, I did catch quite a nice sized crucian in an upcoming episode, so stay tuned for that. I'm so happy I finally got round to visiting Carl and the Crucian project and able to add the crucian to my species tally. New episodes of the Species Hunt are out each Sunday at 5 PM, and next week I'm going to Bridlington to do some rock pooling and fish the harbour for flatfish. I've got a selection of merch out, from A3 fish posters to playing cards, and an ID book for sale via my website with a link in the description. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this vid, why not check out this other video right here? If you can, please subscribe to the channel, only takes a couple of seconds and it really helps me out. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.